everyone, Tracy from Alive. Tonight we're going to be going over Chapter 5 of Dr. Bernard Jensen's Guide to Better Bowel Health. This chapter is about cleansing. He recommends a cleansing program that lasts about 6 to 8 months and has an alternating 7-week cleansing program and then 7-week rebuilding program. That is a fairly committed schedule. If that is something you're interested in, please feel free to private message me. I would love to go over that and send all the specific items to you. It even has pretty much an hourly instruction manual, and I can give that to you free of charge, but I'm not going to be going over that tonight. I'm going to be going over bowel cleansing. He talks specifically about colemas. If you've ever given yourself an at-home enema, a colema is kind of an advanced version of that. I'm going to show a picture of that here. A colema, colemas can be kind of difficult depending on how your bathroom is set up. You can order a kit online. Personally, and obviously I'm a little bit biased, I prefer colon hydrotherapy for a couple of reasons. One is that when a closed system colon hydrotherapy, you can control the flow of water. When using a Colema or an Enema bag or an open system, the water is just continually flushing through your lower bowels at a consistent rate. That can start the muscles contracting, and for me, it leads to limited results in terms of expelling old toxins. Whereas with a closed system, you can control the flow of the water, and it can go in very slowly. If you are interested in a Colema board, the point of that is to be able to do at-home colemas on a daily basis during this program. He talks about and shows pictures of people removing what looks to be almost black rubberized encasement of the intestines. So if you think about the small intestine, that's where all the absorption of nutrition is. If you have something like that in your body, you are not getting any nutrition. You may very well even be overweight and still starving. So it's something to keep in mind. And you can also supplement a Colema board with an enema bag. Enema bags can be kind of messy. There's always sanitation issues, and so I recommend that you try everything out and see what works best for you. He goes on to talk about different supplements, and a few of those that I try to incorporate on a daily basis and I want to go over with you specifically are alfalfa. Alfalfa has a lot of fiber in it, and most of the outer part of the germ in alfalfa is removed for flowers and things like that, so we don't get that. It's a great balancer for a weakened bowel, and it can help improve the muscle tone. So many of us eat too many processed foods, and so we don't have good muscle tone. Apple cider vinegar, it's high in potassium. It's also very alkalinizing to the bowels, and it helps to loosen up that plaque and that mucous membrane. We've got mucous membrane throughout our intestinal system, and when it gets too irritated, it'll start overproducing mucus. So for people who drink a lot of milk, they kind of have a throttly, voice, kind of high-pitched almost, and they're always clearing their throats. That's why. Too much mucus. Calcium and magnesium, those are two alkaline components in our body that our body often is low on because we have such high acid diets that the body has to leach that out of the bones and the rest of the cells and tissues. So replacement is very, very well recommended in your diet, not just on a cleansing program. He goes on to talk about some digestive enzymes, cod liver oil, chlorella, and clay water. Specifically, clay water you can utilize in an enema or on a Colema board. You can also utilize things like probiotics, etc. But the great thing about clay, bentonite clay specifically, is the brand or the type that I prefer. It can absorb 40 times its body weight. So if you think about that in terms of toxins, it's going to pull toxins out of your cells and hold on to it. And while doing a Colema or a Colonic, it'll help to rid your body of that. He goes on to talk about various different types of vitamins, including niacin, vitamin C, and wheat germ oil. He goes at great length into how to use a Colema board. I'm not going to go into the detail of that. I showed you the picture earlier. It's a great at-home kit. Again, I prefer the professional colon hydrotherapy because I think having something done professionally, just like cutting your hair or anything else, we should leave things like that to the professionals. So he recommends doing that on a daily basis. He also recommends a series of tests before and afterwards, and anytime before starting a blood or a cleansing program, it's a great idea to get a blood work test done. for your own edification to kind of see where you are before and where you are after. Now, there's a great amount of debate out there about different kinds of tests. You can have a hair analysis test as well, because hair analysis is not a snapshot like the blood is. The blood is just a snapshot of a point in time. That's why they often have you fast beforehand. Hair analysis takes, depending on how much hair they take, and they usually take it towards the scalp, it's going to be indicative of about the last 3 months of what's going on in your body. So that can always help you to determine what things you're low on. And keep in mind that minerals and vitamins work in tandem together. You need them in certain components. So if you're low on a vitamin and high on a mineral, without the corresponding amount, that mineral can't be utilized in the body. The body needs balance all the time. Also, he talks about how important utilizing quality water is for the colemas. If you are going to undertake to do colemas, it's something that you want to kind of study up on, because it's usually awkward the first time that you do it. The first time I did an enema, I did a coffee enema, and what I recommend for a coffee enema is just brewing your coffee in the coffee pot and not bothering to boil it. I think that takes far too much time. I also recommend an alkaline coffee bean. Papau, P-A-P-U-A, makes a great alkaline coffee bean with lots of rich antioxidants, and it's great for consumption as well, not just for enemas. In closing, I'm kind of skipping over. He goes more into exactly what time to take all of your supplements and how to do that. I'm not going to go into detail there. All I wanted to do today was talk about, if you're on a cleansing program, it is imperative that you clean your bowels. No matter how much you're eating or not eating, or supplements you're taking, or things that you're doing, if you aren't cleansing the bowels, which is the king of elimination channels, you are going to see limited results, and problems are just going to continue to come back. You have to get the bowel clean, and the most effective, safe, and comfortable way to do that, in my opinion, is colon hydrotherapy, followed by a Colema board, followed by an at-home enema. Now, you can use any variation of those, but those are 3 components to include in your cleansing program. And you want to keep in mind that the cells in our bodies lock down toxins over time. So as you start to cleanse, you're going to lift off things that have been stored for years and years and years. He talks about people going through a cleansing program where they'll have popcorn, seeds that will come out of them, and they hadn't had popcorn in 3 years. So not just matter, but different toxins, mercury, things from vaccines, those can stay locked in our cells for time. Time has, your cells don't recognize time, so from the time they're put there until the time you die, they can stay, unless you start lifting them off and getting into that enteric nervous system, and loosening things up, similar to massage or other things where they loosen up muscles. You've got to loosen up the muscles and the tissues surrounding the enteric nervous system so you can rid the body of waste. So I hope this has been informative. Tomorrow we're going to go over chapter 6, and hopefully you'll come back for more. Have a great day, and please feel free to call or private message us for more information about how to properly do an enema, a Colema, or any questions you might have on colon hydrotherapy. Have a great night. Thank you.